Yo, what's going on everyone? I know I've been missing for a minute, but we're back with another unboxing and review video. So in today's video, what we're going to be working on is this. It is the Wahl Vapor limited edition. So it's got a cool colorway on it. It comes with the F32 fade out blade, and I'm really looking forward to using this. So what I was using before is a babless, so they all come with the ratchet click kind of setting, and this one comes with the floating arm. So I'm looking forward to using this again because I haven't used one of these for a good while now, and it actually feels like jumping out of an automatic car back into a manual, so I'm really anticipating using this. So we're gonna get to the unboxing and see what I think about this. Let's get right to it. So yeah, just doing a 1.5 with the grain. Cutting pretty smooth, decent enough power. Bearing in mind this ain't been zero gapped at all, so we're just kind of feeling out as we go. So far so good. So just punching in this guideline. Again, like I said, I ain't zero gapped or anything. Clipper's got a good sound to it too, feels good, nice grip. And it's putting in a pretty solid guideline. Nice and clean. I'll do some close-ups afterwards so you can kind of see how it's hitting.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so I'm just like lifting this guideline a little bit more, and it's going through it quite nicely, cutting nice and clean. I'll say like the competitor to this blade will be something like the IM something, the babless blade, the metal injection blade, where it's kind of just like mixed two into one, or it's like just the original tape or fade blade. I'll find out the proper names for them. I'm being quite bad right now with that, but it's definitely doing a good job. It feels kind of foreign but refreshing at the same time, using this without the clicks, and it cuts through the hair quite nicely. It's nice and smooth, decent sound. And I don't know if you could get that sound, how it's crunching through the hair. It does sound really good. I like it. And these are hitting straight out of the box, not gonna lie. And I always like to just do like a review on it, because like, there's some people that's gonna buy these tools, they're not gonna zero gap them because they might just want it for home use. But it's always good to kind of see how the tools hit straight out of the box. And some barbers just don't like to zero gap their tools as well, so. Put a guard on it. This is the thing that I would say is the most refreshing, because I've always been used to using the wall guards. I tend to use these guards on all of my other clippers as well, and when I put them on the babless they tend to get quite noisy, so this is quite nice in that sense where like it's not too loud, but it's not loud at all. You can't even hear that there's a guard on there, which is quite lovely. One sec. So yes, just gonna hit up this fade on the beard. Hopefully I ain't blocking you guys too much. And it is just doing a good job taking out nice and clean. And then just final thing, don't usually do this, but just for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna board off the side so you can see how clean it takes it. And to be honest with you, it goes through this like butter, and it's taking it really clean too. Yes, so last one of the day for the video anyway. Medium?
Yeah, medium.
Yeah. So yeah, just debulking it. And it is going through like butter. And I just like to debulk it first before I set in my guideline. And I don't know if the microphone's picking up, but it is crunching pretty nicely, to be fair. So just doing in the guideline now, all the way closed. And one thing I will give this blade credit for, it does actually cut through the hair very crisp and sharp. There's no snagging, which is definitely a plus. I ain't done the most amount of trims with it, but I like to kind of do my reviews over a few haircuts so you can at least get to see how it hits differently with different people and different textures of hair. So yeah, so far so good, definitely a plus. And even though it's smaller than the other bits that I use, it doesn't feel like too small or too light. It's got a good weight to it. But I ain't gonna get too much away about it right now. We're gonna do the pros and cons at the end. The good thing about having a good quality blade, you don't need to go over the work too many times. You can tend to get a nice clean finish on this first hit, so definitely a plus. So if you lot have reached to this point in the video and you've been listening and watching what's going on, it'll be good for you to leave your opinion and views of what you think about the tool before I give you my input. And it's all down to personal opinion and preferences, but it'll be interesting to see what you guys got to say as well. Or if you've used them before as well. Obviously this is just the limited edition one, so the casing is a bit different. Other than that, I'm pretty sure everything's the same. And I ain't gonna lie, the only thing, I don't even know what the battery life is on this. I ain't charged it, but it's getting strong. So now we're back, we've done the unboxing, we've done the work with the tool. Let me give you my pros and cons of what I think of this tool. So I'm gonna read out some information in the box and let you know a little bit more about it. So you get up to 2.5 hours runtime on 60 minutes charge. It weighs 290 grams, which is 9.9 ounces. And you can zero gap it with an adjustment range of 0.5 to 1.2 millimeters. So 0.5 mil to 1.2 mil. And the RPM is at 8,000 RPM, like a K20. Anyone that knows cars, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so using it, I'm gonna go through my pros and cons about it based on doing a few haircuts with it. So living with it might be a little bit different, but in terms of what I have dealt with it on today's basis, we're gonna go over that. So the cons is what I will start with first. What I did notice, I was doing like an Afro client, doing the first haircut I've done in the video, or one of the haircuts I've done before, and he wanted a 1.5 with the grain. And what I noticed was, I had to go over it twice, and like the second time round, I had to just like close it ever so slightly to get a smoother finish. You can get that sometimes based on different people's hair textures, but I haven't really noticed that issue with that client before. So obviously that was the very first haircut I did of it. I oiled it, sprayed it, made sure that I was well lubricated, and then got to work with it. So maybe just in the first instance, that's how I was feeling. So that is one of the things that I would say is as a con for this tool. With myself, I haven't experienced it too much because I haven't put it through paces like that. I have heard they tend to warm up and overheat quite quickly. The only reason I mention that is, even though I haven't experienced it in my time of using it, I did notice the clipper was warming up quite quickly. It didn't get too hot, but I could feel the heat starting to come through it, so I don't know if that would be a problem for some people. So don't take my word on that one when it comes to what other people have mentioned, just because I haven't experienced that firsthand, but it did start to get warm. So it's something I might bear into consideration looking to purchase one. And in terms of cons, I think that is it. There are more pros on this tool, I would say, than cons. So One, looks. Looks are like, it's down to the individual and what they prefer. It's not necessarily the type of clipper or design that I go for. I'm more simple. Like my tools are just black and gray. And I've just always liked to have like black tools if I can.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But in this instance, I just thought this was quite cool. It's a nice design. But like I said, that's down to the individual, what they would prefer looks wise. I'm gonna put it up a bit closer so you can see. It's like, I don't know if it's like a tie-dye kind of effect, but it's cool. It goes the whole way around it. So yeah, pretty cool. Another pro that I would say is, it's refreshing that Wahl haven't added in the clicks on their clippers. Cause like using it today, it just like, yeah, first time, like I said, I just kind of compared it into like an automatic car or a manual car. The first use of it, it felt good, but like the more you start to use it, it just like, it starts to click and you just start to hit them gears properly every time you're driving it. If you're into cars, you know what I'm talking about. But with this, you can just kind of get into the swing of it and you can really pay attention to the fine detail, because you're not just kind of like using the clicks to be like, oh yeah, this is it, this is it. It is more like you need to pay attention to what you're doing, go through your levels properly. And I find like sometimes when you actually get into that fine tuning zone, you can definitely pull off a better trim, a lot more crisp. So I do like that. It's cool how they just put this little cap over the screw to just keep it looking nice and clean. Something I just noticed now, to be fair. So just like, as you can see there, they're just like a little rubber cap that you put in there and it fits in nice and flush. That's cool. Another pro that I would say is the feel of it. It does feel nice and premium. I don't know how it's gonna hold up over time, but it feels like it's got a soft, like satin kind of feel to it. It feels like not suede, but suede-ish, if that makes sense. Like it just, I don't know. It's like a rubber that's satin, it's not shiny. It feels very nice in your hand. The design of it, ergonomics, is key. It's got like the finger grooves in the back, similar to the Legends and Seniors. It's got like a nice flat section right here at the top. So I don't know if you can see it from the side angle. It's got a nice flat section at the top, so where your thumb just rests nicely on it and you can actually get into the motion quite nicely. And I do like them little features. The blade is a very good blade, cuts nicely. As you can see in the clips that I put in earlier, you can bold off the sides with it. If you zero gap it, you will probably get like a nice close finish, and you could probably get away with shaping up with this blade too if you're the type of barber that likes to use one tool for everything. Obviously it doesn't hit quite as sharp as the trimmers do, but like I'm saying, this hasn't been zero gapped and it does clean off the sides pretty smooth, effortlessly, no snagging. The blade never got hot while I was using it. And it never really struggled to get through anything apart from, like I said, that first client when I was just going with the grain with a one open to smooth at the top. It does happen sometimes, so it's not something I'm gonna hold against this massively. And the last thing as well, I don't know, like looking at it, it's not something that you really notice too much. But what I did notice is it is quite a bit smaller than, if you say like, these are the Babbitts that I use. So I don't know if you could tell in the picture, it's a little bit shorter. It's a little bit skinnier. Maybe because I got big hands, this is like the perfect size and I'm just used to this as well. This, I wasn't too sure of what I was gonna feel like with the size, but I'm not gonna lie, it does hit perfectly. It's a nice size, especially in the hard to reach section. Say like you're dealing with some clients, maybe even kids, and you're trying to fade off the tape of the neck and get in certain sections. And some tools, they might wanna hit against the headrest or the backrest of the chair. With these, you got space. It fits in the palm of my hand. Like it's literally the only piece, like, see, I might shoot myself in the foot there. This kind of reaches like a little bit lower down. I don't know if you see like where that is in my hand versus this. It kind of sits a little bit higher up where you'll be using it. And it is quite nice. It gives you a bit more movement and flexibility with where you're working around different sections. The weighting of this arm is spot on. The switch is very nice. A lot of thought has gone into designing this. Like, I feel like they've taken the time to design something properly. I've used another tool where this arm was, so you see how it's quite like a wide profile. So when you're using it, your thumb could just rest underneath it and on top of it quite nicely, so you can get nice, it's just easy when you're working with it. And I've used some before, similar to the Legends. I don't know if you guys have seen like the Chrome Legends. They got a flat arm on it, and that was all right, but then I used it as another tool. It had a flat arm and it just didn't feel nice when you was adjusting it. And I just was like, it's taken away from how I want to use my tools, and it just didn't feel that comfortable. So that is about it, I believe. Switch is nice, like it's easy for you to flick it on and off. I think that is a better design than some of the other tools that I tend to use on a day-to-day basis, because you actually get a thumb grip on there and it's easy for you to switch on and off, compared to like some of the other tools that I've used where, for argument's sake, like this is quite flat. So it still does the job pretty fine. I'm not trying to compare them too much to other tools, but that is one thing I do like about Wahl. The switches have always been like, maybe not necessarily like the prettiest thing to see, but the most practical thing to use. And sometimes you gotta use function over form. All in all, is this something that I would add to my collection? In terms of what I'm using now, a big part of me wants to just keep it and use it, because like, you can never have too many tools to an extent, but I like to rotate through my selection of what I have now. It's not gonna be joining my collection. If I was and that is mainly because of, I got the FX1 system, so all of the interchangeable batteries, I got a magnetic set up on my station. I can show you what the station looks like as well. I'll put it up now. So that is a major factor in maybe why I don't want to shift over from that. That is probably like one of the biggest factors in why I'm staying with that selection that I have, like all of the battery setups and the magnetic usage of how my clippers stand up, without having to worry about wires and whatnot, because I do hate wires. But if I was coming away from that, it is a tool that I would replace, maybe like a Wahl Legend or Senior, because it does hit very nice, the size is nice, it feels very premium in your hand. There's a nice grip to it. It gives you confidence that if you're freehanding, it doesn't feel like it's gonna just slip out your hand. You got the grips on the side here as well. Probably not a feature that's gonna come much into play, but in all honesty, it is definitely something that I would recommend if you're not caught up in like battery systems, or like how I am in that ecosystem, if you get what I'm saying. So I would recommend it. In the UK, I think they're looking at about 180 pounds. I'm not too sure how much they are in the US. I'll find out, I'll get some prices for you, and I'll chuck up on the screen. But like I'm saying, in the UK, 180 quid. Is it something that I would recommend? And the answer would be yes. So let me know if you've used them. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think about them. Let me know what you think about the blade and the overheating issue, if it's something that has affected you. If you ain't done so already, it'll be mad helpful for you to just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll try my best to be getting more content out like this. We'll be doing a variety of stuff, a bit of barber tutorials, some conversations, and some insight from the customers to let you guys know how to be able to work on your shop if it's something that you find interesting or helpful to you. You can catch us on all social media platforms. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Share the same handle across every channel, which is abstract_HS, ABSTRKT_HS. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll be back with you soon. Peace.